Hey there everyone, and welcome back to another top 5 Disney video, and the last video
part 4
of our mini-series.
Yeah.
Where today we're going to be looking at our top 5 must-do things at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that this is probably the second favorite park of Joelle's.
I was gonna say it's definitely up there. It and Magic Kingdom are maybe tied. But I don't know. I love that Animal Kingdom is like a theme park and a zoo.
Yeah.
And that's a great combination.
It is kind of a great combination. But before we get into that, I'm Stuart.
And I'm Joelle.
And we're 2Max Try. So thanks so much for taking the time to watch our videos. Make sure you check out our social media stuff, which will show up there above Joelle's head. So make sure you check out our Instagram and Facebook and website and all that fun and exciting stuff. Yeah. And I don't think there's any need to delay in getting into this.
If this is your first video in this little mini-series, in the description we'll link all the rest of the parks that we've already done. So
and it'll be the top 5 playlist, so you'll be able to go through all of our top 5 videos, Heroes, Villains, Sidekicks, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we have a few videos that pertain to the parks, so if you're planning a trip to Disney, they probably would be really helpful to you. Yeah,
absolutely. So I think it's my turn to go first.
Yep.
And this is Animal Kingdom, so my number 5, and the reason this made number 5, most people would probably just skip this. But as we've gone to the Disney parks in the past few years,
I think ours is the same.
It's the first thing we ever do. We always end up at Animal Kingdom the first day, and so number 5.
And it just seems to happen that way.
Yeah, and number 5 for me is It's Tough to Be a Bug.
That's what my number 5 is too.
Now, the show is lame, but it's got a great charm to it.
It really does.
And it was the first thing that Joelle and I did when we went to
the first time we went
Animal
to Disney
Kingdom.
World. Yep.
The first time we went to Disney World. And it's a neat little show.
Yeah.
There's bugs. There's
3D glasses.
3D
so
glasses,
there's like those 3D tricks. You're sitting in seats that have like stuff that does stuff to you.
Yeah. Wait, that sounds horrible.
But you know, like the bug spits at you and it spits water at you, that kind of stuff.
Or before you leave, they crawl into your butt.
And you get
the wasps that poke you in the back.
Yeah. So it's cute.
Yeah, and I think that's more for it's become a tradition for us to do that.
We started Animal Kingdom every trip.
Yeah, so for me, number 5, and I guess for Joelle as well.
Mine too.
It's Tough to Be a Bug ends up as number 5. So for those of you that don't like that, tough.
Here's the thing. Is it the best ride ever?
No.
Is it anywhere near the top of the best ride ever?
No.
But because we do it the first thing every trip, it's just tradition, and I would be sad if we didn't do that.
It's like those people who, maybe the first thing they want to go to is the teacups. I would never want to do that. That's just silly. But
it's their tradition.
It's their tradition, and we can respect that.
Yep, so this is our thing.
Yeah, so for me and Joelle, It's Tough to Be a Bug is number 5. That's funny that ended up like that. So
on to number 4.
Number 4 then is Santulli Canteen. This is something that Joelle and I have done the last 2 times.
Yep.
Their bowls are just amazing.
So good. And we get one and split it because it's plenty for 2 people.
We usually get the one that has 2 meats in it, which is chicken and beef.
Yeah.
With noodles and whatever dressing we feel like at that time. And it's just, if you get that, a couple drinks, and maybe a side, it's usually plenty for 2 people.
Yep.
And so you're looking at like a $20 to $25 meal for 2 people, which is cheap for Disney standards.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not the norm like hot dogs and hamburgers. Right. It's a little bit healthier because there's veggies and lean meats in there. And it's just something that's different. Yeah. And it's refreshing. And
so the food there is just yummy. We would not recommend the cheeseburger pods or buns.
We didn't like them.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people that love them. To us, at least for me, it tasted like someone just blended up a McDonald's cheeseburger and
maybe that's what they do.
Maybe
who knows?
Wrapped it in a bun. So get the bowl. Don't bother with the cheeseburger things. So
that's our hot take.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 is to get a picture in front of the Tree of Life.
You like these get a picture in front of things.
You know, like you said in the other video, pictures or it didn't happen. So I think that it's just such a nice reminder of your trip. Mm-hmm. It's a great thing to get framed and have there. And in Animal Kingdom, that's the iconic thing.
Yeah.
Like, Hollywood Studios doesn't really have an iconic thing.
Tower of Terror would probably be the
and I don't want a
iconic
picture
thing, but
of
yeah,
that.
there's no like.
But I feel like the Tree of Life and the castle in Magic Kingdom are like on par
Well, and
with
Spaceship Earth at Epcot.
Right, but that wasn't on my Epcot list.
No, it wasn't.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, so picture in front of the Tree of Life.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 3?
Number 3. Yeah, I know how to count. My number 3 is Kilimanjaro Safaris. Once again, I think it goes back to what Joel said. It's a theme park and a zoo.
And this ride combines the two so well.
It's another one that the experience changes every single time, depending on the animals you see, how close they get to the vehicle.
And the driver.
The driver really makes it. I think we went on it twice while we were there last time, and the first driver, I think, was one of the best drivers we've had.
Yeah.
While going on that ride, and the second one was good, but not as good.
I would agree. Yep.
And so, I like the fact that Disney has these rides where the experience is different every single time.
Yep.
And because of the appearance of the animals, this is one that changes every time you take it. So we would definitely recommend that if you're going to do this, try to do it twice. Once in the afternoon, once in the morning.
Yeah, the morning the animals tend to be a little bit more active because it's a little bit cooler. Mm-hmm. So this is usually one of the things we head to first or second. Well, second because we got to do it stuff to be a bug.
Yeah.
And then we head right to the safari.
Yep, that's typically what ends up happening. So.
All right, I think our list is going to be pretty close to the same here. My number 3 is Satuli Canteen. Okay. For all of the things that Stuart mentioned, it's something a little bit different. It's refreshing and something new. It's delicious. There are many combinations, so you can try something a little bit different every time you go. Yeah, really good.
Okay. Number 2.
We're at number 2.
Man, we're flying through this.
I know, this is going to be a short video.
All right, my number 2, and we didn't do it this past time, but it's Flight of Passage.
I don't even have Flight of Passage on my list.
Just a great ride. Once again, this is more, where in the last video, Rise of the Resistance ranked really high up there because it's just fully immersive and all that stuff. This is number 2 just because of the technology that's involved in it.
It's amazing.
Just from walking into the room where you get identified and assign an avatar, to sitting on the Banshee portion where as you're riding this, it's 3D as well, where when you're riding you feel the Banshee like breathing type technology.
Yeah. So cool. There's so much to see. It has the same thing as Soarin' with the smells that you smell throughout each part of the ride. It just has...
The fact that they are able to recreate the G-force through the simulator and stuff like that is
amazing.
It's just an amazing experience, amazing ride.
Yep.
And definitely one that if you're going to Animal Kingdom, you need to try to ride Flight of Passage.
Yeah, I would agree. Even though it's not on my list, it's definitely an honorable mention.
Okay.
All right, my number 2, that's where we're at, right?
Yep.
Is Festival of the Lion King.
Oh, okay.
We didn't get to see it this past time because it was closed due to the pandemic-y stuff.
But we hear it's coming back.
In the summer. This summer it's coming back. Summer of 2021. And it was the best show at Disney, hands down. Mm-hmm. There was so much to see.
Even better than Nemo.
Way better than Nemo. It had singing, it had dancing, it had fire, it had twirlers, it had animatronics, it had waterfalls, it had like
audience participation.
Like anything you could want, it had, and it was amazing.
It had all the iconic songs from
Lion King.
Yeah.
I wish we would have recorded it, but I think we were just sitting there like, oh, this is so cool.
Right.
So now we have to watch other people's videos of it.
Yeah.
But once it opens back up, I would say it's like you have to get it into your day somehow.
Yeah, somehow you've got to catch a showing.
Yep.
All right, well, that brings us to my number 1, which is Festival of the Lion King. For all the reasons that Joel said, it's just a tremendous show. And yes, hands down, I think it is the best show at Disney.
Yep.
Trying to think if there's anything that comes close. Frozen might come close, just because of the snow at the end and all of that. type of stuff. But even that, it's not really close. I think it's well performed. It's, as Joel said, there's animatronics and fire and just the iconic songs.
Acrobatic twirlers and dancers and singers and everything.
For me, if they had been running it when we went back in October, we would have been there to watch it. So that's definitely a must-do each time you go to Animal Kingdom. I think I know which number one is.
Yeah?
The safari.
It is. It's the safari. Yeah. That's like the iconic thing at Animal Kingdom to do. Mm-hmm. Although I had a long list of possibilities. When I went through Animal Kingdom, I definitely had maybe the most except for Magic Kingdom. But Safari is definitely number one for all the things we talked about. Mm-hmm. The animals sometimes get really close to the safari vehicle you're in.
And sometimes even in the road.
Yeah, where they have to sit and wait for them, which is so fun. We went by one where they were like right there, like you could have reached out and touched them.
Right.
You get to see them doing things you don't normally, like the giraffe snacking. Mm-hmm. And the safari drivers are so knowledgeable and share different facts with you every time you go through. It's just great. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, all right, so what were your honorable mentions then?
All right, I had a few things. Something we've done every time, and I really enjoy it, is the bird show. It's gone through different names. It was Up, A Great Bird Adventure. Now it's like Animals in Flight or something like that.
I thought it was... No, I think it was Animals in Flight or something like that first. Then it went up,
and then it went back to whatever it is now during the pandemic-y stuff.
Is it not Up? No, I guess they don't have the up portion of it. They don't have
But I just think it's so fun. The birds get so close to you, like they literally fly right over your head. Mm-hmm. And you learn a lot of stuff about them. You learn a little bit about how they train the birds, a little bit of like...
It's fun and educational.
I mean, I like that. It's my mom's fault. That I like fun and educational things.
But if you're really honest about Animal Kingdom, it's all fun and educational. Yeah. Every bit of it.
And I love it. I love it. The other thing that I had on here, I had Flight of Passage. That's obviously an honorable mention. Some of the snacks in Pandora, like that frozen drink that's like pink and purple. Yeah. I don't remember what it's called.
The night something?
Night Blossom. And then we made the Pineapple Lumpia, the pineapple egg rolls. That's a snack there that I would love to try. So some more snacks in Pandora. I would really, and then I think I would love to go back to Yak and Yeti again.
I thought about Yak.
Now these aren't must-dos. That's why they're not on my list. But they're things that I would really enjoy doing again.
Yeah, the meal at Yak and Yeti was really delicious. Yeah. If I were to go back there, I'd get the steak.
Yep.
Because I got the duck while we were there, and it was good. I mean, don't get me wrong, but the steak was definitely better.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing that's fun to do is also the animal trails. They have like 2 or 3 different trails where you can walk down it and see a bunch of different animals, and that's fun.
My honorable mentions, I had 2 of them. The first was See the Tree of Life. It's an amazing piece of work.
Yep.
All the animals that are hidden within there that I think you could look at that every single time and find something new.
Yeah, and I love they're doing like nighttime shows on the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life Awakens, and I think they're still doing that even with...
I think so.
And that's just really fun too, how they project different things to make the tree look different ways. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then the other is just Pandora itself.
Yeah, I was gonna put Pandora at night at one.
Yeah, Pandora at night especially, and I guess they did add some nighttime hours for an hour or so, so they are back to that. And seeing Pandora in the daytime is impressive with the floating mountains and all of that. The theming is just great. Make sure you stop by the water squirting creatures.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
So there's a couple there. There's the big flower thing, which has been kind of roped off with COVID
they don't let you
that.
touch it, which is what makes it squirt water.
And then there are little creatures in a pond that spit water at you as well. So, but the floating mountains and just the theming of the entire land, I think it's definitely impressive. Maybe we'll have to do like a top 5 themed.
Top 5 lands? There's a lot of different lands to go through.
We'll have to go through in that. Let us know in the comments if you'd like to see our top 5 themed areas of Disney. But it's just really impressive to see Pandora at night and during the day.
Yeah, because they have like those glows at night. There's
and the sounds change.
Yes.
So there are like daytime creatures and nighttime creatures, which is just really interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that's it as far as our top 5 must-dos at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So as always, let us know in the comments what's something that we may have overlooked. What are your top 5s? Do you agree with anything that we've said? Yeah, and we're just interested in hearing your opinion on that.
Definitely.
So that's going to do it for this video. We thank you so much for taking the time to watch. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Bye.